Judy Malinowski was burned alive by her boyfriend after he poured gasoline over her body. Hey guys, my name is Mo Fahmy. In this video, we will gonna talk about a crazy story. When Judy Malinowski testified against the man who poured gasoline over her body and set her ablaze, her pain was evident, as 95% of her body was burned. A year after her death, at the sentencing of her on and off boyfriend Michael Slager, the gut-wrenching video of her deposition was shown. For aggravated murder, Slager faced the death penalty. Nonetheless, Malinowski exhibited mercy from the grave to her murderer. She told the judge that she didn't want Slager to be put to death for his crime. Rather, she wanted him to spend the rest of his life in prison. Bonnie Bowes, her mother, told Insider, "Judy was not an angry or vengeful person. That was how she really was." At Malinowski's own murder trial, she was one of the first witnesses to testify. Malinowski's story is told in the documentary The Fire That Took Her, which will be streamable on Paramount Plus on May 23rd. Judy's Law was created in her honor to protect other victims of domestic violence. A series of interviews with the 31-year-old's loved ones, including Bowes, chronicle her fate and fight for justice. It also features the victim and perpetrator's legal teams, and it honors Malinowski by highlighting her legacy, Judy's Law. The legislation, which was introduced in her home state of Ohio in 2017, gives attackers like Slager, who intentionally disfigure their victims, sentences that are more severe and last for longer. When Judy delivered her deposition from the Burns unit, Bowes said, "Judy's courage and strength made me so proud." She noted that her daughter's pain medication had been reduced so that she was deemed more lucid and reliable. Bowes went on to say, "She spoke up, not just for herself, but for other people affected by domestic violence." On August 2, 2015, during an argument outside a gas station in Gahanna, Ohio, Slager sprayed Malinowski with gasoline. According to Malinowski's evidence, her boyfriend yelled, "See what I'll do to you, bitch, and how do you like this?" at her, while covering her entire body with a gasoline can. In her testimony, she stated, "He backed away from me for about 30 seconds, and I kept telling him to please help me and stop." Slager went to his truck to get a lighter, as the attack was recorded on security cameras. Malinowski said that he lit me on fire as he approached her while she was crying and begging for help. In the deposition, she recalled, "After I was set on fire, he backed away, and his eyes just turned black." She claimed that he did nothing in response to her screams before witnesses arrived at the scene with fire extinguishers. When Malinowski first introduced them in January 2015, Bowes told Insider that she disliked Slager. She stated that her daughter was still vulnerable despite successfully overcoming an opioid addiction. Bowes stated, "I thought, no, this is not good. I thought she's clean and sober. As I looked at Judy, she is stunning." To me, his intentions weren't right. Malinowski would pass away shortly after the fire, according to burn unit doctors. Bowes described the relationship as toxic. She said that Slager beat Malinowski, who called the police multiple times but never filed a police report. Bowes claimed that she was unaware at the time that her daughter had relapsed and was reliant on Slager for heroin purchases. She stated, "He was extremely manipulative." Bowes, who took care of Malinowski's two young daughters after she passed away, claimed that she drove to the hospital as soon as she learned her daughter had been hurt. She stated, "They said there had been an accident, and they wanted to know if we had any religious objections to not intubating Judy." She consented, and she was later permitted to visit. Ointment and dressings were applied to Malinowski's blisters. Bowes was informed by the head of the burn unit that they anticipated her death within hours and that 95% of her body was covered in burns. Bowes told Insider, "Others said they couldn't recognize her, but all I could see was my child. Tell me there's hope," I kept yelling. However, no one would. Malinowski spent 8 months in a coma. Even though her dressings were changed twice a day, she was in excruciating pain when she came to. In 2016, when Slager agreed to a plea deal, Malinowski was devastated. His attorneys entered a so-called Alford plea, in which he acknowledged that there was sufficient evidence for a jury to convict him, but did not admit guilt. For aggravated arson, he received a sentence of 11 years in prison. Bowes stated, "Judy was fully prepared, but she was denied the opportunity to testify because there was no contest." She stated, "Michael's strategy was to silence her." Judy is not the only woman whose abuser made that kind of concession and never allowed her to speak out. Before Malinowski gave her deposition, her pain medication was decreased. Malinowski, however, did not give up. Slager could face murder charges when she passed away. She was aware. According to Bose, she was decided to testify and prove that Michael had acted on purpose. From her hospital bed, she recorded the deposition, which included questions from the prosecution and cross-examination from the defense. In order to be regarded as a more trustworthy witness before she testified, she decreased the dosage of her pain medication. According to Bose, the effort had a negative impact on her daughter's body. On June 27, 2017, nearly 2 years after the attack, she passed away from her injuries. However, she was to bring justice from the dead. In July 2018, the video of her deposition was shown during Slager's sentencing hearing. At the last minute, he had changed his plea from not guilty to guilty of aggravated murder. Malinowski asked for leniency, despite the fact that the crime carried the death penalty. Slager was condemned to life in jail without any opportunity of parole. Bose stated, "Judy had forgiven him, and it was rightfully her decision. She was hoping, I'm sure, that he would find God or escape the darkness in some way." She stated that shortly after Malinowski's death, the family paid tribute to her by establishing the non-profit Judy's Foundation. It is advocating for federal legislation regarding domestic violence. Bose stated, "Judy's legacy should be that you can overcome bad situations and stand up for change with strength and courage. She put in a lot of effort to overcome obstacles that were thought to be impossible." Thanks for watching. Subscribe.